Grasslands and savannas are home to the most spectacular gatherings of the biggest herds on Earth. They host huge diversity of plants, as many as 300 species in a single meadow. They store vast amounts of carbon and help mitigate against the climate crisis. They provide livelihoods to pastoralist communities, many of whom have no other ways of supporting themselves. Once, they covered a quarter of the Earth's surface, but we have lost more than 50% of some of the biggest grasslands and savannas. The leading causes for their conversion and degradation are expanding cropland to grow food and fuel, fencing pasture for domesticated animals, commercial tree plantations, and unsustainable grazing practices. We have tamed the wild, domesticated the animals, and cultivated the grass. Today, 4 grasses feed almost all of humanity. Wild grazers and natural grasslands are being lost worldwide. There is an urgent need to reverse this course and a promising opportunity to restore and protect our grasslands and savannas, allowing them to flourish within a generation. The first blades of grass started to sprout about 30 million years ago. In both some of the driest and hottest, and the highest and coldest places on Earth. In coevolution, a truly cosmopolitan biome brought with it large herds of specially adapted mammals that grazed on these grasses. Humankind followed some 29 million years later. Hunters and gatherers developed a special bond with wild animals in the grassland and began to domesticate a select group of hooved grazers. Horses in Asia, cows in the Middle East, llamas in the Americas, camels in Africa. As humans migrated around the world, they also moved these animals and began to convert pristine nature to suit them. At the same time, humans were also shaping grasses into crops. Wheat, corn, rice, barley, oats, millet, sugar, and many more crops that feed us are all grasses. We have planted huge monocultures of these crops in place of natural grasses and have drained wetlands, cut down forests, and diverted entire rivers to grow ever more food, animal feed, and fuel. In the United States alone, since the arrival of European settlers, 50% of the prairies were transformed into crop fields. Most of the rest was fenced for livestock, and wild animals like bison were largely eliminated from the landscape. Now, livestock make up 93% of all mammals on Earth, and humans are 10 times more prolific than all wild mammals combined. By pursuing our own development, we have almost erased the natural world. How exactly do we stop the destruction of grasslands and all the wild things they support? We must adopt nature-positive practices which optimize food yields without converting or degrading grasslands. For instance, by agroecological practices on existing farmland, like reducing tillage and using deep-rooted crops to maintain soil health, and by sustainably managing livestock in natural grasslands. As the population still grows, there will be more pressure to get more food and fuel from our land. But we have to do it in a way that protects and restores nature. We must work directly with local communities and governments to protect natural ecosystems, improve management, and restore grasslands. Already, there are exciting efforts underway across the world, from Argentina to Kenya, from Bolivia to Mongolia, to Australia, which have to be scaled up. As the world transitions to plant-based diets, which are high in human health benefits and low in environmental impacts, fenced pastures can be returned to nature. In many places, the consumption of animal-source foods needs to decrease to benefit people and planet. But there remains a role for managing livestock on natural grasslands. Using regenerative practices can help keep these lands healthy with fertile soils, encouraging biodiversity and supporting the traditional herding communities. By treating our grasslands and savannas respectfully, we can protect and restore these wonderful lands. More of the original wilderness will return, biodiversity will increase, ecosystem function will be fulfilled, and livelihoods will be improved. It is our duty to conserve what is left and recover what has been destroyed. By changing how we farm, what we eat, and how we value grasslands and savannas,